Hello everyone, welcome back to Really Good Crochet. My name's Ali and today we'll be learning to join the Granny Trellis squares along the vertical line. Now, as ever, we will take things nice and carefully because whilst the process is almost exactly the same as for the horizontal line, obviously you're going to want to know what to do when you get to where the squares are already joined. So we will take things as ever nice and carefully. Now we're going to need to start by popping a slip knot onto our hooks. You can make your slip knot however you make yours. I start by wrapping the cut end of yarn over my finger twice. I have the front loop and the back loop. I take the back loop and pull that over the front loop, and then I take the front loop and pull that all the way over my finger, and then I can pop my hook into the loop created and tighten down, making sure that my hook can move freely. Now, let's start by lining up the square. Make sure that's lined up. Get your bottom corners lined up there. Going to start. Once you've got those corners lined up there, pop your hook in through the corner of the square facing you and the square behind. Grab the yarn, pull up a loop through those two corners, yarn over, pull through both the loops on your hook, and you've created your single crochet to join. And then chain one. You've got the two double crochet now in front of you and on the square behind you, and just as you did when you joined along the horizontal, you're going to join those two double crochet, pop your hook in through the stitch in front and the stitch behind, through both loops of each stitch. Grab the yarn, pull up a loop, you've got two loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both loops. So you're joining those stitches with a single crochet. Do the same with the next two double crochets, through both loops of the one in front, through both loops of the one behind. Grab the yarn, she says, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. Now I've changed where I place the camera today because I'm not going to have another whoopsie moment like I did on the previous video where I knocked over the camera stand, which was fun, but we all had a giggle. You just got to roll with the punches, it's fine. I popped the little moment up on her shorts, so if you want to have a look at that moment and have a bit of a giggle, you can. We're all here for it. Get the popcorn out, I don't mind. You'll have to mind the wire of my earphones and mic. Okay, so now you've got your chain one space. Pop your hook through the chain one space of both squares, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops, make your single crochet and chain one. Now you've got your first set of crossover stitches, and just as you did previously, find the chain one space between the 2 crossovers on the square in front, and the chain 1 space between the 2 crossover stitches in the square behind, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, make a single crochet and chain 1. Next chain 1 space, make another single crochet through both of the squares, pull up a loop, then chain 1. Now with the crossover stitches again, find the chain 1 space between the 2 crossover stitches with the square in front of you, and the chain 1 space between the 2 crossover stitches in the square behind, grab the yarn, pull up a loop through both squares, make your single crochet and chain 1. Got another chain 1 space, make a single crochet through both of those spaces and chain 1. Put your crossover stitches again, so just as before, find the chain 1 space between the 2 stitches in front of you and the chain 1 space between the 2 stitches in the square behind, pull up a loop, make a single crochet and chain 1, and you've got your chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 1, you've got another set of crossover stitches, so once again find the chain 1 space between the crossover stitches in front of you and the chain 1 space between the crossover stitches behind, pull up a loop, chain 1. Now things can get a little bit squished now up at the end where you've already got joins, so you might need to pull the squares up to you a little bit, but you've got 1 more space to make a single crochet and chain 1, then you've got your double crochets, so what's that, make your single crochet through the top of the 2 double crochets, and a single crochet through the next 2 double crochets and chain 1. Now put a single crochet after that just before that join, and then chain 1. That chain 1 is what's going to carry you over where the square is already joined. So go over where the square is already joined into the next square. And then right before the 2 double crochet, it is a little bit squashed up, put a single crochet just as you do with the other squares, into the corner space, and then chain 1. So that corner space there, just as you do with all the other corner spaces, you put your single crochet in through that corner space and then chain 1. So let me just talk you through that little section again. So in that corner of that first square that first completed join, in that last corner, you put your single crochet and then you've chained 1 over where the squares are now joined, and then in that next corner of the 2 squares that you're now going to join along the horizontal, you put your next single crochet and chain 1, and then you come to your double crochets, which you then carry on and join as normal. Now I'm going to do all that again so that you can make sure that you've absolutely got this. Let me just pull out some more yarn. So you've got 2 double crochet. So your first set of double crochet through the tops of the stitches of both double crochet in front and behind. Pull up a loop through both of those stitches and make a single crochet, and then with the next 2 double crochet, do the same again, join with a single crochet, and then chain 1. And now you've come to the chain 1 space, so put your hook through the chain 1 space of both of the squares, make a single crochet and chain 1. And now you've come to your crossover stitches. So find the chain 1 space between the crossover stitches in front of you, and between the crossover stitches behind. Pull up a loop through those stitches and make a single crochet and chain 1. And then in your next chain 1 space, single crochet through the chain 1 spaces and chain 1. Another crossover stitch. So find the chain 1 space of the crossover stitch in front and behind. Pull up a loop, single crochet, chain 1. Put your hook in through the chain 1 space of the squares, single crochet, chain 1. Another crossover stitch. So again, chain 1 space, chain 1 space, ooh, single crochet, chain 1. Let me just flatten this out a little bit. That's better. Another chain 1 space, single crochet through both, and chain 1. Your last crossover stitch on these squares, so you'll hook through, chain 1 space between each, pull up a loop, single crochet, chain 1. Now we're nearly at that little section again. You've got your chain 1 space first, single crochet, chain 1. Now you've got your double crochets. Put your hook through the top of the stitch of the double crochet in front and behind, pull up a loop, single crochet, pop your hook in through the top of the stitch of the double crochet in front and behind, pull up a loop, double crochet, single crochet, sorry, using UK terminology there for some reason, and then chain 1. Now you're in the corner space, so you make your single crochet and then you chain 1 to take yourself over the space where the square is already joined. You're then into the corner space of the next 2 squares, so you make your next single crochet through those corners, and it's as simple as that. The single crochet chain 1 join is absolutely perfect for the Granny Trellis squares. You can use it in all kinds of other squares as well, but it's absolutely perfect for the trellis square. It's probably the best type of join that can be used for it, to be perfectly honest. I did try a couple of other joins, but this one works the best. It's also the simplest and most stress-free method that I found. So, as I said on the previous join video, I'll be showing you what I'm going to do for the border, and then the optional extras of the climbing ivy leaf motifs that I'm also adding to the blanket, which is an optional extra detailing that you can add if you would like to. And all of those will go up on the playlist for the full blanket project details. So I hope that you enjoyed that. If you have any questions at all about that process, please do let me know. I'm also very relieved I managed not to knock over the camera this time, which is always helpful. We'll see you again in the next tutorial very, very soon. Do take care. Bye bye.